If you find yourself with a camera in your hand and want to learn how to use it, please subscribe to this channel, like the videos, comment below. Hi Photos family. Today we're talking about how do you start photography at home. If you don't have a studio you can go shoot at, or if you don't have a place you can get out to go to right now, it's a great place to start at your house. Your house more than likely has windows of any size or shape. The larger windows are better for obviously letting light through, but it really, your window for a light source is going to look bigger the closer you get to it. Keep that in mind. If you need a bigger light source, find a way to move whatever you're imaging closer to the window. If you need a smaller light source, and therefore a less powerful light source as well, do be aware that the quote-unquote inverse square rule is going to be in effect. The further you get away from the window, the darker your image is. So if you are, say, 1 foot away from your window and you move another foot away, then you are twice as far from it, and your power of the light from that window is going to be about half of what it was at 1 foot. So just keep that in mind. It's just a name, right, for the math principle, the inverse square law. It's not really all that difficult, but if the name messes you up, just forget about it. If you are adding, again, the same distance that you are from the window, recognize that you're gonna... How rude. Maybe you haven't seen Star Wars, but that just, it's a line that comes to mind from Jar Jar Binks. I was cut off by not having enough space on the camera. Anyway, just keep in mind that if you double the space away from your light source, then your light source is only going to be giving you about half the power that it used to at the other distance when you were closer. That's really all that the square, what did I say? I called it a rule, I called it a law. It's the inverse square law. Okay, inverse square law. I'll get that in my mind and maybe it'll come off of my tongue a little bit easier, but that's really all it's talking about. The closer you are to a light source, the more powerful that your camera, your eyes are going to see the light coming off of the source toward your subject. Now, if the sun is your light source, you can't really do a whole lot to get closer to the light source, right? But that theory comes into play, or the inverse square law comes into play when the sun is at a higher peak, and so there's less to diffuse the light, those sort of things. But it does come into play with your window. So the window is already a diffused light because you're getting the window light. Thus, or the example being true, the further away you are from your window where the light is coming through, then the darker the camera will appear to see your subject in that scene, or the darker your scene will appear is actually a simpler way to put it. But the closer you are to your window, the brighter the scene will appear to your camera. So really that's all it means. If you need brighter light, move closer to a window. If you need a smaller light, then look at finding a way to take a picture frame or a couple of sheets and block off your window to where you only have a small part of your window. But you need to have that distance from the window for the intensity. Find a way to block off some of the window, because you don't perhaps need all the light, but you obviously don't need that big of a light source either. So be creative. I mean, there's definitely ways of finding what you need for the size of your light source, the intensity of your light source, and think about how to get the effect that you need. Smaller, bigger, more intense, less intense. The difficulty is where you might need a more intense light with a smaller source, and that's why you would block off parts of your window. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're not yet a subscriber, we'd love to have you join us as a subscriber, as part of our Photos family. Just click that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, give us a thumbs up so that other people can watch this film as well, and leave us a comment down below as to what this film has brought into awareness of your shooting with light sources. Thank you so much. God bless.